All right, we're kicking off the adventure here. We're taking the left onto that off-road trail called the Gateway to the Red Sands. Yeah, it was. It's my first off-roading trail. I pretty much just got this Gladiator. I mean, well, this is the first. Once I bought it, I started going on trips and stuff, and I've been wanting to go on off-roading trip, but um, the Onyx off-road app says this is an easy trail, and that scares me a little after being on this. But yeah, I was on that Desert Storm trail earlier that you saw. I turned over because it kind of very closely merged to the that gateway to the Red Sands trail, and that's an actual off-road trail. But right here, this is where I'm turning left. I don't think I'm on the trail yet, so I'm looking at the Onyx app right here, trying to figure out where it is, and I think I'm gonna be taking another left right here momentarily. So yeah, and it's called Gateway to Red Sands. It's in Texas, really, by the New Mexican Texas border, near El Paso. More, not really right on the border of New Mexico, but it's by El Paso. But yeah, I went as far as I could. If you see my last video on Desert Storm Road, it started getting really sandy. I'm kind of new at this. I didn't want to get stuck, so I turned around. But yeah, I experienced a lot of different environments here. I mean, there's some sand. It looks like since I caught it from the the end point, I kind of worked my way backwards because it looks like the trail was intended to be drove the other way from the road this way, and I guess that's why it's called Gateway to Red Sands, because you can wind up into all the sand. But I wound up getting up there in that area using a Desert Storm Road, and I caught it from the back end, and I'm coming back toward the road. So I was really trying to avoid that really deep sand, that deep red sand. But yeah, it was beautiful scenery. It was great. It just, one thing as a first time off roader, I realized like it's hard to gauge time and distance. Like on the map, it looks like I should be there quickly, but everything just slows down when you're off roading because of all the bumps and everything. And I was even at one point just trying to get through because I didn't want to be out there at night or stuck at night, you know. So I was trying not to go too slow. Plus, I didn't want to get stuck in the sand. If you stop, it's a better chances of you getting stuck in the sand. But yeah, this is beautiful scenery, and it changes. Like it's gonna be from sand to some rocks, and my tires got pretty beat up. You'll see, and just so you know, there's gonna be some clips when I get out of the car, and you'll hear the audio me at that time. Right now, I'm doing the voiceover because if you're keeping track of my channel, you probably heard that I lost all my my footage, or not the footage. I got the footage, but I lost the audio because being that I was new with this Jeep Gladiator, my new car, when I hooked it up to the to have the Onyx app run everything, like it recorded, but it didn't record audio. It wasn't letting the mic work or something. I don't know. I'm talking while I'm driving. I wish I had that on, but at least I have the footage. I don't know if this would be considered arroyos, because I know when it rains, I heard that there's little like gutterways that get cut out in the desert, right? So if it is, it definitely wouldn't be safe if there's a storm, you know, even in a distance, because that water can just flood in. I'm thinking that's what this might be. I'm not in those areas often, so I'm not sure I've heard of this. But a lot of it was like this, and it was when I'm in that loose sand. There was times where I was sliding a bit on that sand. It just feels like you're on a sled. As a first time off-roader, I didn't expect that, and then because I'm in these little tight-sided arroyo type things, and I'm trying not to slow down and get stuck in sand. There was points where it felt like I was on a bobsled thing, you know, just sliding through these little narrow passageways. And I mean, look at it, was kind of fun, but looking back on it, but that's because nothing bad happened. Because I felt a lot of anxiety when I was off-roading, just because thinking I'm gonna get stuck, I'm gonna be damage my car, you know, like scratch my car. There's all this anxiety. When I was, you know, sliding a bit, drifting in the sand, it was like there was one point where almost I was gonna go into some bushes on the side of the cliff there, you know that. But yeah, I mean, they labeled this on Onyx app as an easy trail. that worries me. Let me know. It's a 3 out of 10 technical rating. I like the idea of off roading, but if they get more, I was there like toward the end of the day. This is the evening, and I'm trying to get out before it gets dark. I'm trying to keep going on my trip, and be somewhere, by my designated times, But it was great. Maybe if I started at the beginning of the day, maybe I had time to go slower. Maybe I had a little more experience off roading with sand. Now the sand here is different from the sand in the beach because at least if you're on a compact sand, there's no problem at all, right? But I mean, this desert sand, there's no compact sand as far as like water compacting it. But yeah, and there were several large rocks on the bottom that hit the bottom of my car. I remember, and once in a while there'll be debris there. What is that? An actual car? I don't even remember going by that. Now I'm seeing it, like a burned out car or something. That's interesting. That's quite interesting. I don't remember even seeing that until I'm looking back on this. I'm doing this video now. It's about a year later, almost. It's about a good 9 months or something. But yeah, often and on you'll see some debris. It looked like maybe people were shooting out there. When I get off the car, I get off of the car off and on. There was one part though. It was pretty bad. And when Jennifer got off, she was like, I'm like trying to snap her back to reality. It was kind of like one of those war films where I'm like, just tell me what to do, like those war films where they're asking the lieutenant what to do, or what. But because there was this tire, she said was hanging over, like my car would have almost like flipped or something. The very end was bad, but since I'm working backwards, maybe that's what the issue was. But we'll see when we get to that part. But all right, so I got to see if I still have my gas tank on, but it looks good. So that's how my car looks out on this trail. Take a picture. That's the other side. Oh, look at that. That's pretty neat. So we're still going down that way. I guess this is off-roading, right? My son went to go take some videos or something over there. So we're back in the car. Still going. Let's see. Now, I don't remember if I mentioned or not, but my tires took quite a beating on some of the rocks. It's going to get rocky toward the end here. And I was just surprised that, I still have those tires to this day and they're fine. You'll see a clip in a minute. But yeah, I think some of these little cutouts in land, these little royal looking things, get even tighter. So, yeah, I just felt like if this is easy, I'm worried about the harder ones. Not sure how many more trails I would like to do. Definitely want to start them early in the day, I guess, just in case you get stuck at that. And you know what my tip is? Always have an ice chest full of sandwich meat and bread, a whole loaf of bread. You don't know how long you can get stuck out at a place. And I've noticed that, like, having some some sandwich meat and bread, a loaf of bread. Like to make sandwiches, like. That's a pretty good survival thing to have. Because when you pack other stuff, it's like one meal's worth or something. If you got a pound of sandwich meat and bread, I mean, you can make several sandwiches, right? And be out there for quite a while. So I think that's my tip for if you're new, you're worried about getting stuck out there. But here, I think it's going to start getting a little more rocky. More rocky, rough, rocky terrain. Now, I did not bump into anybody else out of this trail. At the time, I did not feel like there was any issue if I were to see somebody coming in. But looking back on it, like, I'm wondering if there may have been some spots, where there might have been a blind turn or something. But yeah, and the scenery is beautiful. If you're okay with off-roading, I would really recommend this. I might want to do it again if I had more time and was able to take it slowly. But if Yeah, I would recommend this one. Uh, as long as you are used to off-roading thing. I don't know about first timing. I wasn't I wasn't ready for that anxiety of possibly messing up my car. There was a lot of big rocks when they got to the area where they got bigger. That hit the bottom of my car. There were some points where I had to get off my car and just toss them to the side because I was worried about them. Yeah, and they get bigger. So, and the ride was very bumpy. Now, maybe if I deflated my tires, it would have been smoother. I've heard that after the fact. I know that's good for sand, but I really wasn't in the mood for dealing with that. I didn't even have a compressor with me to reinflate them. Um, so yeah, it was kind of a quick put together thing, and you can see how bumpy it is right here. There's one point where I get off and I was throwing some rocks upside. Some people thought I don't know what they were doing out there in the desert too, but they thought I was. They asked if I was okay, and he told me yeah. I think maybe they thought I broke down or something out there, but you'll probably see me throwing some rocks in the hall. But very bumpy ride, very bumpy ride. Gonna have to try the deflated tires next time or something. Now I wonder. Comment below if you have experience with that. Like if you're deflating tires. Well, I know that gives you good traction on sand. I don't know. Would it help with rocks? I don't know. Because later you'll see a video where this rock is pushing my tire like pretty bad. Because they're big rocks. It's like deforming the tire. And I thought that was going to mess up my tire. I actually was surprised I made it back. But then, like I said, I've had it on my car for a long time still since then. So I guess they're pretty resilient. But is deflating tires good for big rocks too? I don't know. Comment below if you're more experienced with this. Gateway to Red Sands, though. It was fun. I gotta say, it was fun. There wasn't really too many spots where I thought I was gonna scratch my car. That was a good thing. I'm not sure if somebody's maintaining this or something. I don't even know how they get on there as an official off-road trail. Comment below if you let me know how does Onyx. Do people submit these or what? But yeah, I gotta see if I earn a badge for this or something. Actually, and if you don't know about that, you can actually earn badges for trails. You can make your own, or you can actually Jeep actually has some official ones that you can put on your car, kind of on the side. But it's been a little while since I've done that, and done this trail, so I'm not sure. I plan on going to quite a few trails. I'm not sure if I want all this stuff decorated in my car. I'm assuming I'm gonna run out of room, so I don't know if I should even start. Because you gotta like put this permanent adhesive kind of on your, if you're gonna put it on your car. Now, I'm not sure if this was an official one that you can get a badge for, and the Jeep Gladiator, the app actually, you can tell me did it. I don't know. I guess you have to pay shipping or something. You get a badge for it. But there's another brand, another company. Before I did this off-roading, that I was getting one that said Sammy's National Forest when I was out there, stuff like that. Other places I was exploring. But I once I bought those, I soon realized that I don't know if I want to start it because I feel like I'm going to run out of room on my vehicle. Like, I don't plan on just doing a few trails, I don't know. We'll see. Then again, you got a lifespan of the car you got to worry about, right? Now, there were little spots where it looks like I could drive around some issues. And I was glad for those. I think that might have been one right there. There was one point at least where I thought maybe I was going to go off the wrong part of the trail. And it looked like there was another trail going a different way. But I didn't have too much problem with it. As long as I had the Onyx app running, I was doing good with that. As far as navigation, the microphone, on the other hand, well, we just talked about that, right? And what I recall, it actually gets bumpier, but Now I noticed there was actually little poles out there with like some fluorescent high vis tape. I guess kind of marking out the trail. So I don't know, like if somebody's maintaining this or what, or if that was just a coincidence. It seemed like somebody was marking the trail. Comment below if you know anything about this. If you live in the area, or you know about the putting making trails official on the Onyx app. Like, I don't know, could it just been one local guy who drove this and decided to label? I don't know. Comment below, but yeah, a little bit tight right there. I might have been worried about my paint job. That's another thing too. I haven't seen anything. Comment below if you know anything like that I can put to protect the body of my car, like from getting scratched on the side. Like, I tried searching for something like that, but I couldn't find. Like I would imagine it could be some kind of plastic armor you could put in the side or something. Comment, put a comment and let me know if you know of anything that can work out like that. But yeah, I haven't really done much modifications. I didn't even get off-roading tires for this Gladiator. I did a good job out there. Now, after being there, though, I hit a lot of rocks on the bottom of my car. Now, I wanted skid plates when I bought it, but Jennifer kept telling me, you don't need skid plates. But I feel like I should have got the skid plates. But comment below, too, like if you know your experience with skid plates. Because I hear that they're a hassle to take off, too, if you're doing maintenance, right? On the car, like they might charge you more for a mechanic to be doing work on it. So yeah, if you have any answers to any of those questions for new 4-wheel driver or off-roader, comment below. Let me know. And if you made it this far in the film, like, subscribe. There'll be some other points where I get off and talk and show you the car too at that time. But just enjoy the scenery a little bit here. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with my other videos, this is pretty close to the Red Sands area by El Paso, Texas. I don't know why I'm backing up there. It might be because that's the part where I may have took the wrong spot on the trail and I'm using the Onyx to guide me correctly. Now, I don't think I was at any point at risk of losing signal out here, so that was a good thing. Because that can do a number in your navigation. Now, on the Onyx app, if you're out where there's a lot of people online doesn't have access to, you can download the app of the area and you won't have an issue if you lose reception, Yeah, well, tell me, also give me a comment. Well, like I said, if you made this far, like, subscribe. I do different content, off-roading stuff with my dog, camping, hiking, just more kind of family type events, or what would you call that? Things. Give me the word down below to comment. Now, I get a lot of feedback. Google Analytics tells me people are seeing the videos. But if you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe. So, help me keep doing this kind of content. Now, it would be better if I, of course, didn't have the problem with the CarPlay. If you're going to buy a Jeep Gladiator, remember that, okay? And my workaround actually was, and I think I figured it out after this event here. Unfortunately, I wish I'd had my first off-roading experience. See, right there, I was able to like kind of maneuver around some issues there with the terrain. But my workaround for the CarPlay thing is I use the what we used to call a cigarette lighter, the power outlet thing. I plugged in a thing that has a USB like converter there, and I hooked up to there, and it doesn't automatically get your phone synced with the CarPlay. So the only thing is, then I can't have Onyx on that big screen on the console there. So the next time I'm out there, now, I mean, since then I've been doing city driving and I've done that little workaround, but I mean, I don't know. I really liked having the Onyx on that console. It give you a bigger screen to see where you're going and everything. But I might just have to work with the little phone. And I have like an iPhone SE, so I like the small screens to carry. But I haven't had a problem with city maps. But the Onyx, you'd like to be able to zoom in and out, I think. But I don't know. I might be able to make it work out. Okay, so I guess it's kind of turned into a off-roading discussion. What to expect on your first time off-roading. And like I said, expect some anxiety. Expect, there's going to be anxiety about scratching your car, getting stuck, things hitting the bottom of your car. Yeah, I mean, especially if it's a new car for you. Just be prepared for that, Here's starting to get a little more rock here. So I think that's why it's called Gateway to the Red Sands, because you come from all this rocky terrain and you wind up into the sandy area. Now, like I said, I approached it from the sandy area, hooking around and going backwards because I was trying to avoid the sand. Didn't see no wildlife out there. Like, thank goodness. It looked like a great place for snakes and stuff. Like, but I didn't see nothing. Luckily. Yeah, I would definitely carry a big jug of water if you're out in somewhere like this. Cause, like I said, if you get stuck, have some sandwiches, have water, extra stuff, some jerky. And we have tips on how to gauge how far you can drive and like time and distance while you're off-roading. Let me know, because I know like you can kind of gauge like an estimate, like amount of 30 minutes for every mile for hiking or something like that, and how much water you need for each. But for off-roading, I wonder if there's something like that, like, because when I look at the map, I think, hey, I only got a mile to go. I can get there, the same. But it's not the same as a mile on roads, in the city. Just going to just enjoy the terrain here. Yeah, comment below what you think the first good upgrade for a Jeep Gladiator is for off-roading. Okay. Now I know my first mod. Try to remember which one I did first. More like, I don't remember which one was first. It was either my 4x4 hatch hinges on the top. Okay, you can open up your freedom panels like a tank almost. Now, if you don't know about that, check out my channel. I probably have I do have a video on that, and sometimes I have videos where I use it. It's great to be able to just open the top like a hinge instead of having to put away the panel. The freedom panels on the top. No, like here it gets pretty bad. Okay, but it actually does get worse. This is where I was thinking I should have got the skid plates, but maybe save me money off labor getting it off, right? As a mechanic has to work on the cars. I don't know. Comment below. Let me know what your experience with that. Do skid plates cause mechanical repairs to be more expensive, or you need a specialist for that? But yeah, besides the 4x4 hinges, I think that was my first mod, and then I had put the soft topper in the back. Now I felt like that was a necessity because when I was going to camping, I had all this gear in the back, and I felt like I couldn't leave it. I felt like somebody would just take stuff out of the back of my truck, So at least covering it like that with the soft topper, that'll provide a lot more freedom. You can get off somewhere, leave your stuff in the back. You can even rig up some way to lock it too. But at the very least, at least people don't see what you have back there, like, and it's easily accessible. Right, I'm trying to figure out why I stopped. It was probably because I saw a big rock or something. Because by this point, yeah, I think no, it might have been the map, or maybe I'm avoiding some of the big rocks there. That's actually probably what it is. Let's see, because it's probably like a little workaround. Notice that sway on the hood in the front. That's because it's very bumpy. Got to rock back and forth, right, on that hood in the front. Honestly, I'm not sure I even expected this for off-roading. I think I expected more like dirt trails and stuff, rather than rock. So here I'm getting off the car. Still some big rocks that and I was hot out there. That's why I'm worried that. That's kind of like my tactical sunscreen. I was getting tired of sunscreen after a while too, because I don't want the. I probably want to get some gloves, so I don't dirty my hands. I don't like sunscreen to get in my eyes, so I was trying to cover myself. Even my arms I was trying to cover. Cause I did a lot of driving for this trip, and we stayed outdoors. Yeah, I probably exaggerated that throw. But we stayed outdoors a lot because I had the dog with me. Jonah was there. It was pretty much a dog-friendly trip. But it gets hot and uncomfortable because you're pretty much always outdoors. Yeah, I started just stopping off and on to move some big rocks because, a lift would be nice too. If you had a lifted car, this would be perfect. It should be probably fun, but I don't know. After this, I kind of thought, hey, maybe I should get a lift, but I have heard they mess with your gas mileage, and I already don't have the greatest gas mileage, so I'm not sure. Comment below. What do you think I should get more first? A lift or skid plates or something else? And I need to know if there's something I can put in my car to protect the body from scratches. I just don't see why they wouldn't sell something like a magnetic panel or something. Now, after saying that, I remember that when I was in Red Sands in New Mexico on the same trip, I brought these little, yeah, I'm moving more rocks, this little, like a magnetic camp light, but it wouldn't stick on the car. So, I don't know if just certain parts of the car are magnetic. Because I saw later, I thought just the whole thing wasn't going to stick. I thought everything was plastic, but I saw somebody hooking something or magnetizing something on a hood before. Maybe just the hood's magnetic, or metal, I mean. I don't know. Yep, I told you, rocks are going to get pretty bad, right? I'm trying to focus on the film right now to see what I'm doing. Probably trying to navigate and figure out where I'm going to place my tires. Overall, it's a fun experience, though. Oh, here we go. Okay, I was either probably checking the map or trying to figure out what to do. You know what? This might be the spot that was kind of... No, I don't think it was. Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this. I think. Not sure if the camera's doing justice to this. I'm sure it was more difficult looking when you're there. If I recall correctly, I think I may have gone around on the right side there. I don't know. Somebody getting off, I think. Let me see. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I decided to go to the right over here, but there was this tree or like a bush, some brush that was kind of blocking my way. Would have scratched my car, and I want to go that way, so I want to go in there and just like, no wait, this is not it. This is okay. This is the bad part I was talking about. I'm hanging off the edge right there. This one was pretty bad. I'm gonna try it. The sun's on my face. I'm gonna try it though. I mean, I can't do nothing else but back up. Maybe I don't want to do that. So yeah, here's like part of the anxiety that I'm telling you about. The anxiety sits in is like, am I gonna have to go all the way back the other way? Because I was having difficulty even making it this far. Like this is where you really think about not just getting stuck in the dirt, but getting stuck out there where like you can't like work your way back on the path. You know, like there, I didn't want to have to bump my car, the bottom of my car, all the way up the other end. You know, but I don't even think this is the part that was really bad because there was a part where Jennifer had to guide me. I think that's coming up. Now I was hanging off a little bit. You probably saw me in that part of the video, but I think there's another point where it's worse. Yeah, because Jennifer's not guiding me on that one. I just kind of got off and saw I was hanging off. What she saw that time, all I saw was the expression on her. Not this time. I think it's the next time we have an issue like that. I didn't get to see it. She saw it, but all I saw was her expression. Hopefully, we'll see. That should be coming up, I think, in a while. I don't think that was it. I'm pretty sure. So I know I didn't get to see it. And it was actually looked harder, unless I'm remembering wrong. But we'll see. So you made this far. Comment below. Let me know what next topic I should talk about pertaining to any of my video topics, or if it's four wheeling. In case I lose my audio again, what should I talk about? Because yeah, I gotta fill in a lot of voice over here. Now I'm thinking, since we're on the topic of off roading and stuff. Next time I need to change my tires. I mean, I love the tires I have here. They're more like street tires. I like the look it gives though, but I'm thinking about getting some more of like a mud tire, off roading type tire next time. But I know somebody's put that in their truck, and they say it gives a not as smooth of a ride. It's louder. Not sure if that's true or not. I've only the time I drove a truck that had that, I didn't know what it sounded like with street tires. So, and I don't think it sounded that loud. But I've heard different things about Jeeps and the acoustics with the Jeep Gladiator. Now I do have a hard top, mind you. But yeah, that was some look. That's pretty. It's pretty hard there, right? I don't recall this part. I stopped here. This is this the part I get off? It looks like my passenger's getting off, so it must be Jennifer. Yeah, that might be the part where I'm looking at her expression and telling her, just tell me what to do, you know, like stop, like snap back to reality. I think this was it. Probably can't see her on camera though. Yeah, she had to guide me. And pretty rough. See, I had to kind of get very close to the edge there. And at this point, like, I just want to get through the trail. I want to, not be. There's anxiety too about encountering an obstacle you can't get past. Then you're gonna have to work your way all the way back. And probably not an issue if you start early in the day, but I was there in the evening, like I said. So hopefully this video is useful. At least somebody wants to know what that trail is like. It's doable, especially if you have a higher, a lifted truck. But I had a stock truck with street tires. I did it, but there was a lot of anxiety. And there was just one spot where it was pretty difficult to navigate, but I was working my way up it, which I think technically it should be. I think it was the path was meant to be working the other way, but I'm assuming off-road trails could be driven either way. Let me know, comment below if there's some kind of etiquette to that or something. If you notice too, the rocks are getting bigger. Here we go. Yeah, it looked pretty thin over there, so here's where I decided to veer off. I remember this spot. I remember thinking there's got to be a way to circumnavigate that. Oh, this is the end actually. I remember this. That seemed like one of the most difficult parts too. Probably the second most difficult to work my way around to get here. I mean, it was easy, but you just have to do a lot of mental. Yeah, I'm back. I'm on the road now. This would have been where people usually catch it. Okay, but it was kind of like a mental puzzle to figure out how am I gonna get out of that spot. But once you figure it out, it wasn't bad. Alright, I hope you guys liked this video. The tires are all beat up. On the sides too. Glad they survived. Man, those rocks really beat up the tire. Check that out. Huh, that's something. Hope that's not. My thing would have told me. I do need something for that. I need to put a badge of honor. They go right here, I think, or something, right? That was scary. I thought I was gonna mess up my car. Let's look around for damage. Wait, okay, that brushed off. I assumed I was gonna get a few more scrapes. Hope the bottom's okay. Now, I wanted to get some skid plates for this reason, particularly, but Jennifer didn't let me. She was like, "You don't need skid plates." So again, this was Gateway to Red Sands coming in from the opposite side. It's 3.2 miles in distance. Lowest point is 4094 feet and highest 4287.